So very good morning. So for the last session, we have gone through the driven series RLC circuit. I think I lost my connection. Can you hear me properly? Hello, can you hear me properly?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So, just a minute. So in the last session, we have gone through the series RLC circuit. Okay. So driven series RLC circuit, we have defined one equation. Okay. So our equation, we had a differential equation, which was a second order linear differential equation with the constant coefficient. That is d square I by dt square plus r by L into di by dt plus I by L into C. So what we did is we have defined the divided both the sides by L, and we have received or written instead of d by dt, we have replaced it with the s, and the equation we have, it is s square plus r by L into s plus 1 by LC, which is equal to 0. Okay, so this characteristic equation or the auxiliary equation is defined for the series RLC circuit. Now, to identify this quadratic equation, let us call this ABC. Okay, all of you must be aware about ABC. So A is equal to 1, B is equal to R by L, and C is equal to 1 by C. And if we have to identify the quadratic equation of a second order linear circuit, we or you people must be aware about how the series RLC circuit can be defined. So the equation can be defined as S is equal to minus B plus or minus B square 4AC, okay, upon, actually it is B square minus 4AC divided by 2A, where A is 1, B is R by L, and C is, that is 1 by LC. Now, to identify the roots of this equation, we must know what are the different types of roots associated with the same. So, to identify those roots, we must have to go through the frequencies which are associated. Okay, so let me mention. So the roots, those are related to the equation, those are called as natural frequency. So the roots can be S1, S2, which are being called as the natural frequencies, measured in Nepper per second. Keep in mind this unit, Nepper per second. Next, omega 0 is known as undamped natural frequency, which is measured in radian per second. And alpha is known as the Nepper frequency for the damping factor, Neppers per second. Characteristic equation that if we want to write, so initially we must know how the values can be identified. So what we did over here is we have defined all the values of A, B, C into the S. So after solving, we have defined the two roots. Which are those two roots? Because plus or minus sign is there. So S1 became minus R by 2L plus under square root of R by 2L squared minus 1 by LC. And second is minus R by 2L minus under square root of R by 2L squared minus 1 by LC. Let us define alpha as R by 2L and omega 0 square as 1 by LC. So your equation will be now S1 is equal to minus alpha under square root of alpha square minus omega square, and S2 is equal to minus alpha minus under square root of alpha minus omega 0 square. Okay. So the characteristic equation, the same characteristic equation can be expressed as S square plus 2 alpha S plus omega 0 square. So the roots of this S indicates that there are two possible solutions of the current I, and each of it will be take a form of I1 of t and a I2 of t, which has a A1 and A2 are the constant terms, e S1 e raised to S1 of t and A2 into e raised to S2 of t. So this is it's linear combination, and it's also acting as a solution. So whenever we are dealing with this quadratic equation solution, just a minute. Okay. So ax square plus bx plus c, which is equal to s is equal to b plus or minus b squared by minus 4ac by 2a. So this quadratic equation will have the three possible solutions depend upon the nature of b square minus 4ac. If b square is greater than 4ac, the roots are equal and distinct. So its solution will be I of t is equal to a1 e raised to s1 of t plus a2 e raised to s2 of t. You need to only understand these values. No one will ask you the derivation. B square minus 4ac, the roots are equal, real, and same solution is I of t is equal to a1 plus a2t e raised to s2 of t. Next, b square is less than 4ac, so the roots are equal, roots are complex and distinct, and the solution of the roots will be alpha plus jb and alpha minus jb. So I of t will be e raised to alpha d cos of beta plus sin of beta. So whenever we are dealing with these conditions, there are the mainly conditions known as the overdamp, underdamp, and a critically damped. Okay. So when we are dealing with this type of uh, circuit, so let us start with identification of the conditions. So those conditions, first initially overdamped and underdamped series RLC circuits. Okay. So the output of source-free second-order linear system is oscillatory waveform, and the word damping indicates that there is decrease in the peak amplitude of the oscillation, and it is due to the effect of energy that is absorbed by the element in the system. So depending on the damping, the system response is classified as, actually it is classified into the four, that is critically damped response, second underdamped response, third one overdamped response, and a undamped, means there will not be any difference. So first one will start with the critically damped. Critically damped. Critically damped response, how it will be identified? If okay, so with respect to t will be right. So it has a exponential response. If the damping factor is sufficient to prevent the oscillations, then a system response is called as a critical response. Consider that the current is exponentially increasing as shown in figure. So here the response is not oscillating. So it is critically damped response. Second one we have, it is a under a damped response. Under damped response. So if the amount of damping is less than, then the response is called under damped. So under damped, this will be like initially like this one response, you'll get underdamped. So if the amount of damping is less than the response, it's called the underdamped, and the oscillations will be like that here I have shown. The third one we have, it is the overdamped response. Overdamped response. So what is this overdamped response? If the amount of damping is large, okay, so actually it is compared to 1, okay, so there will be a different values. If the damping factor, okay, it is equal to 2. If damping factor is equal to 4, which is to the t. So any small case or the small change in the circuit parameter will prevent the damping, and the overdamped response for the different damping factor that can be mentioned like this one. So the fourth one, that is the undamped. So what is this undamped response? Undamped response means the whatever with the signal we have provided as an input is working as this. There is no any variation into the signal. Okay, so here no damping, then it is also called as undamped response. And here the oscillations are called as the sustained oscillations. The oscillations are known as the sustained oscillations. Okay, so these are what the different values that we have to identify. Now if the uh, if we have to summarize the same, I'll just write the summary of general solution. Summary of general solution. So first, serial number. Second, nature of roots. Third, value of discriminant. And a general solution. Okay, so first we have when the roots are real and distinct. If the roots are real and distinct, the value of discriminant will be b square minus 4ac will be greater than 0, and the solution is x of t is equal to k1 e raised to s1 of t plus k2 e raised to s2 of t. If it is x of 0 plus, it is k1 plus k2, and if it is x dash of 0 plus, means next value, it is s1 k1 plus s2 k2. Second point, that is if the roots are complex conjugate. If the roots are complex conjugate, it is b square minus 4ac is less than 0. So the roots will be x of t is equal to e raised to minus sigma t, where a cos omega dt plus b sine omega dt. This is what for the sigma value, where x of 0 plus is equal to a and x of 0 minus is equal to minus sigma a omega d b. Okay. Third one we have when the roots are real and equal. If the roots are real and equal, so at that time the value of discriminant will be b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. Therefore, x of t is equal to k1 plus k2 e raised to s1 t. x of 0 plus is equal to k1, and therefore x dash of 0 plus is equal to s1 k1 plus k2. Okay, so these are what the equations which are related to the same. Okay, there are the few more conditions that we should go with, that is when the second order linear circuit which has a constant inputs. Okay, if the second order linear circuit we have with constant inputs, which are also known as driven circuits. Okay, so when some independent sources are present in RLC circuit, then its differential equation we have already defined: d square x by dt square plus b into d by dt of x plus cx is equal to f of t. Here this f of t is the extra term that is compared to the source free circuit, and here f of t depends on the source input and the derivative input. If f of t is not constant, then the solution becomes complicated. So such differential equations are solved using the Laplace transform. So if f of t is having some constant value, that means f of t is equal to f, and the solution can be easily obtained. Therefore, the general solution for the differential equation, therefore, general solution for differential equation, this can be mentioned as, it is d square x by dt square plus b into dx by dt plus cx is equal to f. Okay, here roots are, what are the roots? S1 S2 is equal to minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac divided by, okay, so and the general solution can be given by, and general solution can be given by, how the general solution can be given? X of t is equal to xn of t plus x of f. Okay, so x of t is the general solution when f of t is equal to 0, and the value of x of f is independent of the roots and which is given by x of f is equal to f by c. So if we want to summarize the same can be summarized as, let us draw once again the table: serial number, second nature of roots, third value of discriminant, and a general solution. So for the general solution, x of f is equal to f by c. So first one, when the roots are real and distinct. Okay, so it is b square minus 4ac equal, when it is greater than 0, it can be written as x of t is equal to k1 e raised to s1 of t s1t plus k2 e raised to s2t plus xf, where x of 0 plus is equal to k1 plus k2 plus xf, and x dash of 0 plus is equal to s1 k1 plus s2 k2. Second, when the roots are complex conjugate, b square minus 4ac is less than 0, and the roots are x of t is equal to e raised to minus sigma t into a cos omega dt plus b sine of omega dt okay, plus xf. Therefore, the values will be x of 0 plus is equal to a plus xf, and x dash of 0 plus is equal to minus sigma a plus omega db. Okay. Third, when the roots are real and equal, so b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. Therefore, x of t is equal to k1 plus k2 of t into e raised to s1t plus xf, and x of 0 plus is equal to k1 plus xf, and x dash of 0 plus is equal to s1 into k1 plus k2. These are what the terms. Last point that we are going to study for now, that is specifications of second order circuit. So to start with, first, okay, is over here. So the signal will start at a certain point, it will reach to its maximum value, then it will be at a certain point, it will try to slow down or match. So this was the one. I'll tell you what are the points. Keep in mind, it is MP, maximum peak. Okay. And yes, okay. So first, please go till here. It is known as TR, which is known as the rise time. Then over here, please TP, that is peak time. Then just like here, please TD. It is known as the delay time. Last till here, TS, known as the settling time. I'll write all those terms. TD, known as delay time. Next, MT, please peak overshoot, or it is also known as the maximum peak. Then next we have, it is the rise time, PR, rise time. Next, it is peak time, we have TP, it is peak time. Next we have PS, settling time. Yes, almost all points I have covered. So this is what I will call one. There are the different conditions. Okay. Create, okay, 0.50, okay, which is known as the C of t, that is the response. So one by one we'll go with the definition. So delay time, it is the time required for the response. It is time required for the response DTD to reach 50% of the final value of the first attempt. 50% of the final value of the first attempt delay time. Next we have, that is the peak overshoot. Before peak overshoot, we should go with the TP or the TR. Chalo, let us go with the TR. It is rise time. So it is time required for the response to rise from 10% to 90% of the final value of the overdamped system. So it is 0 to 100 for the underdamped system. Next, MP, it is the peak overshoot. The maximum overshoot is the maximum peak value of the response curve measured from the unity, and it is therefore the largest error between the input and the output during the transient period. Next, peak time. So it is the time required for the response to reach at its first peak. Okay, so it is the peak time. Last, settling time. So what is settling time? It is the time required for the response curve to reach and stay within the specified percentage. Usually this percentage is 2% or the 5% of the final value. Okay. So here we have concluded almost all points which are related to our unit number 2, and here the unit number 2 is over.